Okay, so yesterday, what is this? We learned about operators, huh? Right. So we discussed about working with operators. You designed the TMI calculator, huh? No? So in that, I will give you a design that you have to try now. Means yesterday I given only text boxes, huh? So you need to design with sliders. Just logic I will give you here. Formula you have to implement, right? So according to that website that we have, so emi.html. So we will import HTML and EMI calculator and link relation style sheet href node modules bootstrap icons first, and we have href, so node modules bootstrap css. Okay, and in body container, and let's keep a header here as EMI calculator. I'm just giving you the basic design. Here what they done is they given sliders in this website HDFC, right? In this website they just given the, yeah, let's go into this calculators. In this calculator, these are all actually sliders. Suppose just roughly here div class as row in this, so div class call. I will create 3 columns here. So these are 3 columns, and in this we have left column amount you need, and a text box beside it. Input type is equal to text. So class as some form control or something like this. Yep. Next we have for years. For years again, for years for text box, input type is equal to text, class form control and years, and third column have interest rate. So that is how much amount you need for years, interest rate, input type is equal to text, and class form control and percent. Okay, now this is the row we have at the top. We have at the top this one, and you know how we can keep the content side by side. We can use input groups now. That means actually this entire content must be defined in input group, class as input group. But important is that will give you that margins and all you adjust. Just roughly I'm giving the point. Another here also, div class as input group, and here also same. Okay, so div class input group, and in that we have this that keeps the content in this way. You have to adjust the width of the text boxes and all here. Suppose I have style, and we already have a form control, and to form control width is suppose 100 pixel. That means, so here it is not affected everywhere. Why? Because this is already defined in Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, some styles are editable, some styles are not editable. Means you cannot modify them. You can add features, you cannot change them. By default, it is having some width. So what you do is you need to disable that and define this. Means you should not use this form control anymore. Suppose I will use form text. This is form text already there, so form element. Okay, I will use this as form element so that I can give element. That means it is just using the form element here so that I can define the width. So form element width, so some 100 pixel. That means it will adjust the width of those text boxes. That depends how you want to display. Okay, next here, what we need to do is when we are displaying the contents, the value inside them should be according to slider. User will move a slider based on that. So below this row, we will add another row, class another row. So margin top as some 4. In this again, div and class as call. So here we will distribute into same 3 columns. Alignments and all you take care. I'm just giving a basic function. So below that we need, according to this website, sliders. We need 3 sliders we need. So that means we need input type is equal to range, and it will have a class called form range. Already we discussed that is form range. If you don't give that, then it will have a default appearance. Range appearance will be like this. So you can keep the values accordingly. That means how you want the values. So we want 50,000, 40 lakhs, something like. So that means here I defined options. So because this is simple option, here we will put, so 50,000 like this. You can put in same line 50,000 and some 40 lakh. Right. So, and here we can put min is equal to 50,000 and max is equal to 40 lakh. Otherwise issues will come. So minimum and maximum value range must be like this. You can put below or you can put beside, and default value starts with 50,000 like this. Then it will start from the beginning. The same thing we have to handle for others. In the next column, I want to display about this years, 1 to 5 years, 10 to 21%, right? So that means here we have to define input type is equal to range, min is equal to 1, max equal to 5. And here, so 1, and here I define 5. that is 1 to 5 years. And one more column is there. So this is some 10, yeah, 10 point some 5%. And input type is equal to range. And here we will put 21%. You know how to give. Min is equal to 1, max equal to, so max equal to not 1, this is 10, 10, and max equal to 21. You can give a step, na? You learned about step value. Step value I can give 0.5 like this. So that depends on how you configured the range value here. By default value will be, so value will be 10. It will start with the 10. Here also the value will start with 5, 1. Default the value will start with 1. Now here what you have to do is when user is moving, this value must display here. We need to show that. It is not mandatory to be a text box only. You can put a div. Inside the div, you can show the value. If you want user only to select, right? So as of now, what we are doing here is we will write a logic for that. For all these range, you need option ID as amount range. This is ID year range, and this is interest range, like this we define. Now the text boxes also ID as txt amount, and this is txt years, ID as txt years, and here ID as txt interest. Okay, so this is all the references. Now we need to write a script here, script function. So amount change will fire up when user is changing the amount slider. That means we have to use on change, amount change. On this amount change, we need to get that and display document get element by ID. So this is txt amount dot value is equal to document get element by ID amount range dot value. Now what happens here is when you are sliding this, the value will display there. So later I will tell you some more points where we can display in a currency form. That means we can put a currency symbol. Actually, already we know that in CSS I told you, can you put directly any symbol inside text boxes? Because it is a string, right? You are displaying the string. Actually, if you are displaying the string into it, so the value you are adding into it, then here I am adding ampersand hash 8377 semicolon and plus the value whatever you are displaying. That means when you are sliding, so that is not displayed there, because you know that text boxes, text area, all are RC data elements. They will not allow any formats inside them. Then for that, what you do is you have to display before the text box only, or you need to create a input group. Remember, in input group, what we do is here beside this text box, we will just put here the already input group. We will put a span. For this, we use input group text, right? And here we will use ampersand hash 8377 semicolon like this. Thus, that will keep like this. Now the value you are trying to change, it will display like this. It will define like this. That is the basic approach. Generally, you have to do that for everyone in the same way you need to define. Now, important is, so like this, you have to write for year change. You have to write for interest. Same, collect the value from this slider and attach here. Collect the value from this slider and attach here, right? Now, finally, one more option will be there at the bottom. Here we will have one more at the bottom. So div, suppose class we have row and we have a div. So the class is call, and here we have the button. So class is equal to btn and btn primary and have calculate. On this calculate button, click. So margin top as 4. Okay. On this calculate button, click, then it should calculate the data coming from all these and implement. Now, what is the logic you have to write for that? On the button click? That means on click. So on click, so is calculate, click. Okay, this we will write here in the script function, calculate, click. And here we need to get the values. One is principal interest P. Principal interest comes from document dot get element by ID. So that is txt amount dot value. And here you need to do a parse int, because it reads from text box, it will be string. You have to convert that into a number. And after that, principal amount. So then what else is there? R is interest rate. So parse int document dot get element by ID. What is the next one? txt interest dot value. So one more we need to get, where that is periods and amount number n, and parse int. So document dot get element by ID txt years dot value. This we have to do. Now you have to create EMI is equal to, you have to implement that formula. You have to define that formula. So, and you need to display that in somewhere in a heading below or somewhere in a div below, right? This you have to implement. So I hope now you can do this. Only the point is you have to implement that formula, write that formula correctly. Then you can achieve this functionality. So I will give you this sample, and I will upload another example. So in that example, yesterday given text boxes, those text boxes formula will be there. What you have to do is pull the formula from there. Already I showed you the formula, and implement in this, and you have to achieve that, right? If you cannot do such things, then it is difficult, you can't handle, right? So you have to do this. Here only one additional thing today you have seen is sliders. Collect the value from slider and display in text box, collect the value from text box and use them. That means directly user can enter in the text box. Here one more point will be there. Sometimes that requirement also important. Suppose I entered here as 3, then here it is not changing. So that means you are moving here. Suppose I entered here, it is displaying. But when I entered any value here, suppose some 30 lakhs, and it is not changing. That means your text box value is different and the slider is different now. If I move the slider, will it increment from there? It will not increment from there because it is stopped somewhere else. And you move it, it will get some other value. Then how to relate these to each other? Same. What you have to do now is whenever user is changing the text box, that means amount you need text box. Here again on change. When text box value is being changed, when user is changing the value, that means update slider, update amount. Update amount is a function. So here we need to call that function update amount. This update amount function should get document dot get element by ID range. So which range it is? Amount range, right? Amount range dot value. Amount range dot value is equal to txt amount dot value. We have to apply in a reverse way. That means now what happens here? User is moving, it will get the value there. And when I am changing the value here, so changing the value here, so that is, suppose I changed this to 32 lakh. So it should change and update that. That means automatically it is updating here. So that means when you move this, then it will increment from that position. Increment from that position. I changed this to 14, then it should change to that 14. Then again increment, it will get from there. From there. This is important. That means you need either way. So that means here user can slide. At the same time, when user changes value in text box, it will affect here also. These two are interrelated. So for that, I just done this concept. I will upload this one. We made some change here, right? Now only one work, calculate EMI and present it, print it. That's what you have to do, right? So this is one example. Now I will give some more examples. We will see some more examples. But for that, we need to understand another important operator. Actually, you can implement the same in yesterday's example. Means we are using slider for EMI calculator. You can use slider for this one, which is that. Yesterday's example was this one operator. Now here, what I want is in this yesterday's example, I want here here the products information is shown. I want here slider, not previous and next buttons. I want a slider. When I am sliding, the product should change. When we are sliding, the product should change. That's very simple. This is difficult. Slider, it should change. That's very simple. That you can easily handle. Suppose you want a slider here. So let's put a slider in this example. Where? So we'll put the slider in the card. Above the card, I'm just adding here a div. And so I will put here as input type is equal to range, class as form range. Okay. This is the range we are having, slider at the top. And what we will do is for this here, we will give min is equal to 1, max is equal to some 20. And the value is equal to 1. Now, when user is moving this slider, the product should change. That means now what we have to do is when user is moving the slider, ID is a range range slider. So, or product slider, that is the ID I given. I have to write this one. So which function is changing? The function that is changing is get product function, right? Get product function. So here we will write a logic. So a function, this function is a product slider changed. So when product slider changed, then what should happen? We have to collect the value of the slider. That means var. So here ID is equal to, so parse int. So parse int. So document dot get element by ID product slider dot value. It will get the product slider value. And we need to get product. In that, here we need to add http fake store api.com /products/ and here we need to put that ID. This time the ID is coming from the slider. We have to just put that ID. Now when you see here, so here you can observe now. When I move this slider, so move that slider, the product image should change. For that we not binding the event. What is the event name? Product slider changed. This should fire up when user is changing the slider. That means on change. That function we have to access. Now when user is changing this slider, then the product image should change. When user is changing the slider, the product image will change. Right now here, one more important point is you keep a standard width and height for card. I just given a card. You put a standard width so that all will be uniform. Now the same thing, you can try one more work here. That is when I click previous, can I change this slider now? Yes, you can do that now. That how you can do that? We can do that by binding the count value to slider. Because when user clicks previous and next, count value is changing. That count value, if you apply to slider, then automatically it will be changing. So one more we can do, but later, auto slideshow. That means every 5 seconds, it will change automatically. Just like you saw carousels. What happened in a carousel? Every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds, it will change automatically. That means we will not manually do. We can put a button slideshow and user clicks that slideshow button, it starts automatic. So for that we need to learn timer events. We learned one event, timer event, that is set interval. So we need some more timer events. By using that we can handle that functionality. As of now, this is enough. So here also same, only one extra work we done. So we done that by using a slider. This is the same example using the slider, right? This is basically some examples understanding with operations, various types of operators. Next, after understanding arithmetic operators, so we have conditional operators. Conditional operators. Conditional operators, so they are simple already we know. Actually, we have equal, double equal is equal. Triple equal is identical equal. This is equal, this is identical equal. Equal. not equal, so not identical, identical, not identical, right? So not equal. So we have greater than and equal. Less than, lesser than or equal. So equal, identical, equal, not identical, equal, not equal, greater than, less than, and all. This is one regular question again. What is difference between double equal and triple equal actually? So the frequently asked question here is, what is the difference between, what is the difference between, so equal, double equal, and triple equal? Equal, double equal, and triple equal operators. Actually, equal is to assign a value. Double equal is to compare two values of different types. Of different types is to compare two values of same type. Same type. Here one syntactical point is, suppose x equal to 10 and y is equal to 10 string. This is, if I write x double equal to y, here it returns true. Why true? Both are not same type, but still it compares, because in a string, yesterday we saw that in a string, if there is a number, then it will implicitly convert it. It will implicitly convert if only number is present, and it will compare. In that case, that y is also number 10 only. Then both are equal, true. But we should not compare like that. When you are comparing, we have to make sure that both data types are same. Data types are same. In that case, what we have to do is, so we have to use triple equal. Triple equal, it will return false. Why it will return false? Because both are not same type. So triple equal can compare only when both are same type. When both values are same type, either both string, either both number, then only it will work, right? That is actually string type. So let's see example here, means just rough example here. Yeah, here I am writing a script and see the same, where x equal to 10, where y equal to 10. Document dot write x here, x double equal to y. If x is double equal to y, it will say true. So that means it returns true. It says both are same. If here we say triple equal, that means it is false. Now it is false. Why? Because it can compare only when both are same type. This is general comparison operator. So difference between equal, double equal and triple equal. Not equal, same. That means it will check whether it is not equal or not. That means suppose if I say x not equal to y, then it will return false. Why? Because x is equal to y. Because implicitly it can convert. But if I say x not identical to y, so it says that yes, true. It is not identical because both data types are different. That's how it returns the values. So this is for comparison. And if you are comparing now in future, so when you are comparing for the same value, then always use triple equal only, no more double equals. Right? In advanced technologies, they prefer using that because they are all strongly typed languages. That means now you are using JavaScript. JavaScript is not strongly typed, means data type, it can be any type. But now technologies like Angular, like React, like Vue, all these technologies are using TypeScript. TypeScript finally have to translate into JavaScript only. But TypeScript is strongly typed. JavaScript is not strongly typed. And any technology which is using TypeScript based, strongly typed language, they always prefer triple equal only for comparison. So no more double equal. Even you try to write double equal, they show warning there saying that better use triple equal because this is strongly typed language now. So that means not to use double equals, right? So these days, everywhere you will find this very regularly. Right? We will see one example. We will see how to handle it. Right? Initially, these are the comparison operators. No need to explain. Greater than, less than, greater than or equal, less than or equal. We will put in example. One example. We will keep that. Right? Now here, one point is all the all comparison operators return Boolean value, that is true or false. Comparison operators return Boolean value, true or false. Yeah. Next, important to see the example, you have to know another logical operators. Logical operators. We have logical operators. So logical operators, double ampersand. This is logical AND. Double pipe symbol. This is logical OR. And exclamation. This is logical NOT. Negation. Actually, so we have means syntactically, we have condition 1 and condition true. Condition true. So that means it will be true. Expression will be true only when both conditions or evaluate to true. If both conditions evaluate to true, then only it is true. If both conditions evaluate to true, then only it is true. So condition 1 or condition 2. Expression, right? This expression will be true. Expression will be true if any one condition is true. If any one condition is true. And not true. This is negation of true. Is false. Not true means false. Negation of an expression, that is. These are the logical operations. Now here we will see one option, how to handle this. Right. We can use equal, double equal, triple equal, and all these for comparisons. So in this example, what we are doing is, see, we will create one simple screen layout, head, title, say registered. So here we have a simple heading of register user, and we have a div. We will put a data list and data term user name, and data definition input type is equal to text, ID as txt name, and the data definition here it is empty. ID I will give as name error. Okay, a name message MSG. Okay. Now here in this, what we want to do is, in this example, when user is registering, when user enters the username, we have to make sure that the username user entering is not already there or taken by somebody. If it is already taken by somebody, we should show message saying that this is already taken, try another. That means we have to verify whether the username is already taken or not. We have to compare now. We will have data and we will have value coming from text box. We have to compare, is this text box data equal to the data we are having? If it is equal, then show a message that already it is there. Otherwise, display another message. So let's see. And very important, username may be available if one character changes also. That means, for example, somebody already taken user as John underscore NIT. Then I also want John underscore NIT. It says no, already taken. Then if I say John underscore NIT1, then it says okay, it is there. Because even one character changes, so it is available. So how do you compare that? Let's see, by using comparison operators. And when you want to compare, I want to compare for every character. Every character changing, it should compare. Then we have to use an event on key up. On key up indicates verify immediately once they release the key. For every key, for every character, verify. So on key up, I will say verify user. Okay, we will write the script here. And here we have some users data. Users is an array. In that users array, we have an object username. One is like John. Another username. So we have like John underscore NID. So another username. So we have like some David. And another username as some David 111 like that. Now important is we will call the function verify user. It should collect the value entered in text box. So where username is equal to document get element by ID txt name dot value. We will get the text box value. And here we need to verify. So how to verify? Where to verify? We have to verify whether this username is present inside this users. I have to verify every user from begin to end. Then how to read all the user objects? How to read all the user objects from array? We will use for where user of users. This is an iterator which is used for reading all the values. We will write a condition if user dot username is equal to, I am using triple equal, is equal to what? Is equal to the username entered in text box. That means its data type also should be same. That means data type means it is string type. The value coming from text box is also string type. So if it is matching with the username, then we will display a message. So here we will access where, so name message document dot get element by ID name message. Name message is a data definition. Here we are accessing name message dot inner HTML. We should display a message saying that username taken, try another, and we will put a name message dot class name. We will apply a class called text danger. So after displaying that, it should stop now. Otherwise, because you are writing this condition in iterator, after this is matching, it will go to the else block. After matching, it should not go to else block. It should stop there. Then we have to put a break. This is very important. If you don't break the statements, generally you will learn that in another concept called jump statements. We have two jump statements as of now, break and return. We will detailedly discuss about them. What are jump statements in a concept called statements? Break will terminate the execution. It will terminate the execution of this block. That means it terminates execution of if block, but it stays in for. It will stay in for. If I can also use return also will stop. That is why this is very commonly asked question in interviews. What is difference between break and return? So break will stop, but it will still stay in script. But return will terminate script. That means it will come out of the script. It will come out of the script. That means permanent execution of script will be stopped. Break will stay in script and do the other activities, but return will completely terminate the script. We can see that. I will show you that. See, we will put break, and here we will put another message. If not, what should happen? Name message dot inner HTML we will display. Inner HTML we will display. So username available, and we will put the class here. Name message dot class name is equal to text success. Okay, now you see here what happens. I am clicking there and typing the name. And when I am typing the name, so it says, so username available, right? Why color is not coming? Name message dot class name. Bootstrap is not there. Let link bootstrap. Link relation is equal to style sheet. Href is node modules, bootstrap, this CSS, bootstrap, CSS. Then I have to put all this in container fluid. So, okay, now fine. Now I'm clicking here and typing here some option. So it says username available. And John is the username, it's taken. But John underscore is available. John underscore, suppose NI is available. John underscore NIT is not available. So NIT1 is available. So that means it is verifying every character and it is displaying. We are comparing whether it is matching with it or not. Now I will show you the point about this break. Actually, if I am not using break, here I am typing the message. So it says John underscore NIT. It's not showing error. It's not showing error because it is not coming out of that. It is still in that if block only. It's not coming to else. Outside, it is not coming outside. So that means it goes into this location, else it will not come to if. If it goes into if, it will not come to else. So that means if username is already available, then again it should not come to else. It should break there only. That means we have to put a break. Then you can see that I am typing here some David. So it is available. David is taken. David 1 is available. David 1 is taken. It will display that. Now we will see the difference between break and return. Observe here. How to understand that is right click, inspect. In inspect, here go to in the elements console, select here as application. So not application required. So we will go to sources. When you go to sources, here select sources. In the sources, this is your HTML file, comparison.html. So double click on that. So this is the comparison HTML file. This is the HTML file. In this HTML file, right side, you can see logic. This is the logic. And what you have to do is scroll to line number 16 and click there. It will put a breakpoint there. This is called breakpoint. Breakpoint means compiler will pause, not stop. Compiler will pause. After pausing there, every line what it is doing, it will tell you. That means in this line, what is happening? In next line, what is happening? Every line it will show you. As for a developer, we can track the problems in every line now from hereafter. That means now, okay, but how to come to this location? You can remove the breakpoint again by clicking on that line number. You can add multiple breakpoints also, but currently one breakpoint is enough. And here, once you put the breakpoint, refresh the page. Now type the number, name, username. I'm entering username. I'm entering username. So David D. You see it comes here. Observe carefully. Here, right side, you can see this option. So breakpoint is at for loop, and see the username variable is taken as D. This is coming from text box, and user is undefined. User is undefined means this user is undefined. That means still the value is not coming into it. From where the value will come? It will come from this users array. From the users array. So this is the first point. You see it says that paused in debugger. Paused in debugger. Okay. Now what you have to do is, so you have to click this button. So that means you have this button. This indicates next step. That means go to next line. So what we need to do is click on that. It will go to next line. In next line, you can observe that. So still username is undefined. I click on next line. So that means it will go to the next line. And see now what it is doing. First username it is collecting. What is the first username? John. It is collecting the first username. After that, it is verifying that John and D are not same. That means username and username you entered are not same. If they are not same, obviously what should do? So let's see. Click on step over next. Then it will display username available. That means it will go to which condition? Else. It directly jumps into else condition. And after that, step over, it will display the message. You see username available. After displaying message, it should apply green color to it. So step over, it is applying green color. Green color. After that, click on step over. Remember, you say step over. Again comes here. And again it is verifying the same. It is verifying the same. Now what happens is, here you entered some other name. That means you have to stop the debugger, enter the names and define the name. Now you see green color came for that. Green color came. Now what we will do is, if user is, now there is one more button here. This button indicates that, so now step to that particular next step. Or if you want to skip this, you click this button. This button is nothing but function call. Step into function call. I click step into function call. It will go into that and it will verify. Everything it is checking one after another, and finally it comes out and it will go. Now we have to enter another one. Day A. Again it will pause here. I will put a step over here. Okay. And it will verify all the details, and it says username is available, and it will go. Okay. Now once you do this step over function, it is verifying all these options again and again. Now David V. Okay, again click on step over. Wait until that matching option comes. Okay. Again verifying. Okay. It has to verify all of them. Then okay, VI. Okay. It should verify all of them. That means what it is doing, it is verifying all the elements in array. So one by one. So after verifying all the elements in array, now David. Okay. Now see, it is matching now. Then in that case, when it is matching, it will come into, so see 18 line here, it came here into if condition. If it is matching, then next step what to do? Next step, you see username is still John and it is David. So why? You will understand that. Next step, click on step over, then it will come into that. Finally it will come to David, that is arena, first value, after that second value, after that third value. In third value David is matching. In third value David is matching. Now it will come here and it will say username taken. You see username taken, green color. After green color, then it will apply to red color. Then it came to break. Observe carefully. When I click on this, what happens is after break, it will come out of this function. It will come out of that function. It will not still stay in the function. Remember, comes out of the function, not out of the script. It is still in the script only. It is in currently which line? 27. After this function, some more functions are there. They will execute. It will just break the function and come out. But return is not like that. When you use return, what will happen is it will come out of entire script element. That means script will be terminated. Script will be terminated. That means some other functions are there. They will not execute. What we have to do? We have to load the script again in order to execute those functions. So return will not going to, return is not going to do this. Return is going to come out of the script, not of the function. So here two situations are there. When you use return, here, you can observe return is also working fine. In this example, it is also working fine. I am typing here David, it is available and it is taken. This time I am not using break, I am using return. But actually, if I open the debugger and track, I have to track all 5 times again, right? So in the source, again, if I track, you will find that after this found, it will come out of it. For that, I have to type again, refresh and type all these things again. So it will pause for every character. That is the problem. We will do one thing. Instead of pausing for every character, I will write here, not on key up, I will use on blur. Okay. On blur means once user finished all the words, then verify. Don't verify for every character, because we are using debugging. In debugging, it will take so much time. I will use blur. Blur means you entered David and come out of it. Then it will say username taken, right? So we will do this and see now. Refresh, okay, and open in the debugger. Okay, the breakpoint is in the same place. Breakpoint is in the same place. Refresh and type the word David. Okay, and press tab. That means come out. It is verifying. Now click step over. Then it will check user. And if user, you observe here, first it is checking with which user? John. You can see the username. Which one it is verifying? John. But our username we entered is not John. The username we entered is David. It is verifying with first username, John. Okay. Next. Else. After that, it is verifying the second user, John NIT. After that, it is verifying the next user. Next user is David. It is matching. Then it will come into this block. It will execute that username taken. After username taken, it will put red color. Then return is there. And when I click step over, it will come out of script. Previously, what you saw? Previously, you saw that it stays in the last line. Na? When you use break, it is still in the script. it comes to end of the function. But return is not like that. Return will terminate the script. It will completely come out of the script. If you have some more functions to execute, then problem. You have to reload the script again. If there are some more functions to execute inside it, then it will come out of the script. You have to reload the script. That is the reason either this is the final thing to terminate and come out, or still you have to continue. That you decide. Based on that, you have to use break or return. Both are jump statements. But what is the difference between break and return? Break will keep in the script, and return will terminate the script. In this example, we are doing it. So I given an example here. First, I will put this example. In this example, our point is to verify by using this operator, by using the comparison operator along with our array of objects. We will create one more thing and see here. See, this is an example, and here the question is, what is difference between break and return? So here the point is both are jump statements, but the point is both are jump statements. Break will terminate the block, but will stay in script, whereas return will terminate the script. So to immediately see the verification, I used blur, but actually here you have to use on key up. That is the event you have to use. On key up is to verify on every character. Right. So that is the basic thing how to handle. Next important here, how we can use conditional, logical and logical or like that, how we can use logical and. For example, suppose now we are creating a login screen, verify user. So here, let's remove this logic. Okay, and let's add here also the message I will remove, and this not required. Username is okay, and here we have password, data term password, and the data definition input type is equal to password. Okay, and here I don't need on blur and all this. I'll remove this, and ID for this is txt pwd password. Okay, and below this we will keep a button, so login. Now here we will keep a heading. Okay, ID as MSG. Fine. So class enter. Okay. Text danger. Okay. Now the concept here little change. Now what I will remove these breakpoints and all. Right. Now what should happen? Username and password should be verified, and both should match. That means now in our data, every user have username and password. John have password like John@123, and John NIT has password so like some John11. and David have password like 12345, and David 11 have password like David at the net 11, like this. Now important is we need to create a login screen so that any of these users can log in. So any of those users can log in, but that user and password both should match. Username should match and password should match. So we have to collect the password also, where password is equal to document dot get element by id txt pwd dot value. Now we have to write a iterator. So for where user of users. Now for every user we have to verify. So very important, for every user you have to verify username and password, both of them. That means if user dot username is matching with the username we entered, and user dot password is matching with the password we entered. That means both conditions are matching. If I use or, then anyone is matching. Either username is matching or password. We don't do that for such things. For example, when we ask enter your email or enter your mobile, in that case they can enter email or mobile. If anyone is matching, allow. In that case we have to use or. But here it is not that. It is both should match. Username should match and password should match. If that is the reason, we have to use double ampersand. If both are matching, then document dot write, I will put a message login success. Just I will put a heading login success. Just message roughly. Okay. Otherwise, else what should happen? If not matching, you don't need a break there. Why? Because you are not staying in the same page. You are going outside the page. When you are going outside the page, you don't need break. You don't need break. If you are still staying in the page and continuing the same tasks, then you have a break. If you are going outside the page, then it terminates automatically. Then you don't need a break. Why we need a break previously? Because we are showing the message there itself, in the same page itself. Here also, if I am showing login success in the same page, then I need break, because I am taking them out of the screen and displaying on a new screen. Then I don't need a break for that. So now else what should happen? Document dot get element by id msg dot inner html. Inner html is equal to, I will put here as invalid username or password. Invalid username or password. So we will put some more conditions also, but initially we are just displaying invalid username or password. And when this verify user should work, when user clicks on login, that means login on click. On click is equal to verify user. Now you can see user can enter the username, suppose John underscore NIT, and password something wrong, then it should show the message invalid username or password. Because according to the user John, what is his password? John NIT password is John11. So that means it should be password here John11, and click on login, then it is success. If username is wrong, so suppose it is John underscore NI and John11, password is okay, but username is wrong, then it will not work. Username should match and password should match, then it is verifying. And if any user can log in, suppose I said David. Now David sub password, I don't know David password, it says login invalid. The David password is 12345. I will write here 12345. That is the David password, and click login. It verifies. Anybody can log in, but both should match. Username should match, password should match. If I don't use this and I put or here, I am writing David and password is something wrong, and I click login, it says success. Suppose I am defining, so means at anyone should match. Suppose I am writing some Sam and the password is some password and it says invalid. But password is matching with somebody's password, like 12345, and login, it says login success. That's wrong, right? That means it should match the exact username and password. That means here we have to use logical and. Generally, when we use logical or, when we say that either this or that, use email or mobile, anyone matching, then allow. In that case, we have to follow this. So this is an example of comparison operators, how to handle them, comparison operators. Now, similarly, we have assignment operators and all. We will see that in next session, right? Some more examples now we will see in the next session with other operators, how to handle them. And tomorrow we don't have session, so holiday on Christmas Eve, right? Again, our session will be on Monday. And one more important announcement is if you people missed out any sessions, any class, so if it is 1-2 sessions that you missed out, you come to me and you can let me know about it, which session you missed out, so that if that same session is going on in some other batches, then you can attend that. You can attend that, right? I will let you know about the timings of those batch. You can attend that if the same topic, if you missed any topic related. And if any topic you feel difficulty in understanding, if it is confusion or you are unable to understand any topic, now hereafter what we decided is we will have a Sunday session. In that we will have backup for the topics which you are confused in, right? If any topic is not understandable, you feel confusion, then I will repeat those topics again by collecting the week summary, right? That means I will upload a form. In that form you send your doubts, that means which topic is confusion for you. So then on Sunday we will conduct a backup for all those topics. Okay, every week we will maintain like that, so that you will get clarified with all the doubts and the issues that you are having. Any topics you missed, you can attend in other batches. But first you have to tell me which topic. Same topic in any another batch it is going on, I will recommend you can attend that. You can attend any number of batches, it doesn't matter, right? I will tell to the admin, so he will allow you to those batches, so to recollect the topic again. Okay, so then tomorrow no session, again we will meet on Monday, right? Yeah.